Hello everyone, so this is lesson 1.3 and we're going to be talking about the perimeter and area of different figures. You noticed on the previous slide that I gave you a table that showed the formulas for the perimeter and area of different shapes. And right now what we're going to do is we're going to go over a couple of examples on finding the perimeter and area of figures. So we begin with a rectangle. Now we all know that a rectangle is composed of the length and the width, right? Usually the length is the longest side. So here we're going to say that 11 centimeters will be the length of the rectangle and 8 centimeters will be the width of the rectangle. Now from the previous table, you have noticed that the area of the rectangle is length times width. So that means we have to multiply whatever the length is times whatever the width is. And in most cases, this is going to be given to us. Now for the perimeter, remember the perimeter, it's pretty much adding all of the sides of a figure, of a shape. In this case, because a rectangle has two lengths, right? Then the perimeter is going to be 2L. And then plus, we also have two widths, so it's going to be plus 2 times width, so plus 2W. And given that they have already provided the measurement for the length and width, we can just go ahead and plug them in the formulas. So here we're going to have A equals 11 times 8. So A equals 88, and then it's going to be centimeters square. Every time we work with area, we need to add that exponent 2 for the units. Reason being, we are multiplying those units times the same unit. So centimeters times centimeters, right? So it's centimeters square. Now for the perimeter, we have P equals 2 times 11, which is the length, plus 2 times 8, which is the width. So P equals 22 plus 16. So P equals 22 plus 16, it's 38. And this is going to say as centimeters, because we're not multiplying the units by the units. We're only adding. So it's 38 centimeters, and that will be the perimeter of the rectangle. Now let's go ahead and solve the area, or find the area and the perimeter of this triangle from part B. So if you go back to the previous slide, you are going to notice that the area of, or the formula for the area of a triangle will be 1/2 times the base times the height. So when we're talking about height, we are referring to whatever it's the height from the base all the way up in a straight line to the tip of the triangle. So in this case, the height will be that red part. It's not going to be 9 centimeters or 10 centimeters, because those are not going from straight from the base to the tip of the triangle. And also the height will always form that 90 degrees, that little square with the base. Okay, so in this case, our base is going to be 12 centimeters and our height is going to be 8 centimeters. So when we are trying to find the area, we go ahead and plug them in. So it's 1/2 times the base, which is 12, times the height, which is 8. So here we can first multiply 1/2 times 12. So we know that 1/2 means dividing by 2, right? Or half of 12, which is going to be 6. So 6 times 8. And this is going to give us 48. And then again, centimeters square. So units have to be squared, right, for the area all the time. So it can be feet square, meter square, whatever units are given to us, but to the second power whenever we're finding the area. So for perimeter, again, perimeter of a shape or a figure, it's adding the sides. So the whatever distance it's around the figure, in this case, we will be adding the sides of the triangle. So pretty much the 12, 9, and the 10, right? So in this case, I put area. I barely noticed that I put an A right there, so this should be a P. So the perimeter equals the sum of the sides, right? So in this case, it'll be 10 plus 9 plus 12. Notice how I didn't use a formula, just like in the rectangle, which is 2L plus 2W. I did the 2L plus 2W on the rectangle because it's simpler to just multiply the length times 2 and then the width and then add them. However, for the triangle, we don't have a specific formula for this, just adding all the sides. So P in this case will be 10 plus 9, which is 19 plus 12. So then P equals 19 plus 12, which is 31. And then this is going to be centimeters. Okay? And that's how you find the perimeter and area of these two figures.